Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to do the paper 1 O-level November 2015. Okay. So the first question is evaluate 0.03 times 0.3. So the way I like to do this is let's first ignore the decimal place. So let's just do 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 is what? Is 9. So in this first number we have 1, 2 decimal place. Is this number we have 1 decimal place. So in total we have 2 plus 1, which will be 3 decimal place. So we count 1, 2, 3 decimal place. So here we will have 2 zeros and 1, 2, 3 decimal place. So your answer for part A will be 0.009. So another way to do this question is you can first convert the numbers into fractions. So let's say we have 0.03. This is equal to 3 over 100. And 0.3 is equal to 3 over 10. So we have to do 3 over 100 times 3 over 10. That will be 9 over 1000, which is 0.009. So yep, that's the same answer as this one, and you have two ways to do it. So now moving on to part B, we have 5 minus 2 bracket 3 minus 1.4. So here we have to follow the rule of BODMAS, which says we have to do everything in the bracket first. So what is 3 minus 1.4? It is 1.6. So 3 minus 1.4, that will be 2. 10 minus 4 is 6. 2 minus 1 is 1. So 1.6. And what is 2 times 1.6? So 2 times 1.6. 2 times 6 is 12. And 2 times 1 is 2. Plus 1 is 3. And we have 1 decimal place, so 1 decimal place. Okay, so this becomes, this whole thing becomes 3.2. And we have 5 minus 3.2. So what is 5 minus 3.2? So that will be 4, 10. 10 minus 2 will be 8. And 4 minus 3 will be 1. So your answer for part B will be 1.8. Okay, so just remember, when you have many operations, which is minus brackets, you have to follow the rules of BODMAS. And that's it for number 1. Question number 2, part A. A trader buys 7 items for $4.10 each and 5 items for $6.40 each. He sells all of them for $10 each. Calculate his profit. Profit is final minus initial, right? So what is his cost? What is his cost? It will be 4.10 times 7 plus 5 times 6.40. So let's do one by one. So we have 4.10 times 7. So 0 times 7 is 0, 1 times 7 is 7, and 4 times 7 is 28. So 2 decimal place will be here. And we have 6.40 times 5. 0 times 5 is 0. 4 times 5 is 20. And 6 times 5 will be 30. 30 plus 2 is 32. And we have 2 decimal place, so it will be here. So this will become 28.70 plus 32, which will give you, so 28.70 plus 32, that will be 7006. So 70. So that is the cost of the items that he purchased. So now he sells everything for $10 each. So in total he has 5 plus 7 products, which is 12. So what is his revenue? Revenue will be 12 products times the selling price. It will be 120. So now profit will be 120 minus the cost, which is 60.7. So this will be what? That'll be 1 9, 10. So 10 minus 7, it will be 3. 9 minus 0 is 0. And 11 minus 6 will be 5. So his profit will be 59 and 30 cents. So now part B, find the simple interest on 450, that's the principal, for 5 years at 4% per annum. Okay, so what is the simple interest? It will be, we have to do 4% times the principal times the years, which is this. So now we simplify, we have 0, 0, divided by 2, we have 2. Here we have 5, divided by 5, we have 1, so 1. So here we have 2 remaining. 2 times 45 times 1 will be 90. So his simple interest will be $90 over the 5 years. Question number 3, y varies directly as the square root of x, which means y varies directly with the square root of x, which means we have this equation, y is equal to k square root of x. Okay, so we first need to find the value of k using the information provided. So we have what? We have y equal to 18 when x equal to 9. So replace those two values in the equation. So we get 18 equal to k square root of 9. Square root of 9 is 3. So we have k equal to 18 divided by 3, which is 6. So now your new equation becomes y equal to 6 square root of x. So that is your new equation for this y. So now the question is, find the value of y when x equal to 4. So value of y is equal to 6 times square root of 4, which is 6 times 2, which is 12. So your answer for part 3 will be 12. Question number 4, it is a function question. We have f of x is equal to 1 plus 4x. Find the value of f of minus 2 over 5. So which means we have to replace the value of x by minus 2 over 5. So f of minus 2 over 5 is 1 plus 4 times x, which is minus 2 over 5. So 1 plus, so 4 times minus 2 will be minus 8 over 5. So now we simplify, we get 5 minus 8 over 5, which is minus 3 over 5, and that will be your answer for part A, minus 3 over 5. Now for part B, find f inverse. So we first let y equal to 1 plus 4x. Then we have to make x subject of formula. So we have to send 1 over here, it become y minus 1 equal to 4x. So x equal to y minus 1 divided by 4. That is your answer for subject of formula. So now we have to replace the value of y by x. So the inverse will be x minus 1 equal to 4. So that will be f inverse x minus 1 over 4. Question number 5, part A, write the number, this number, correct to 3 significant figures. So how do we do this? So we first leave the 3 numbers. So 1, 2, 3. We ask ourselves if the fourth number, which is 6, is bigger or equal to 5. The answer is yes, so we have to add 1 to the first 3 numbers. So 504 plus 1 will be 505, and we have 0.0505, and the rest we have to change to 0. Okay, so that is your answer for part 1. So now we have, by writing each number correct to 1 significant figure, estimate the value of this fraction. So here we have 3 numbers. We have 8.94, 0.201, 28.8. So we have to write this correct to 1 significant figure, which means we have to leave the first one alone. We ask ourselves if this number is bigger or equal to 5. Yes, so we have to add 1 to the first number, which becomes 8 plus 1 is 9, and we changed everything else to 0. So now we leave the first number as it is, and we ask ourselves if this one is bigger or equal to 5. The answer is no, so we convert everything else to 0. So 0.200. And the last one, we leave the first one alone. We ask ourselves if this number is bigger than 5. Yes, it is. So we add 1 to the first number. So 2 plus 1 will be 3, and everything else will change to 0. So now we replace every number back in the fractions. So 8.94 will become 9 times. This will become 0.2 divided by 30. So divide by 3, we will have 10, 3. So 3 times 0.2. So let's divide by 2. We have 0.1 and 5. That was maybe a mistake, but that's okay. So 3 times 0.1 will be 0.3 divided by 5. So that is the same as 0.6 divided by 10, which is 0.06. So your answer for part B will be 0.06. So what I did here was basically I multiplied 2 and 2 to get 0.6 over 10, and then I found the decimal place of the decimal number of this fraction. So that is the answer, which is an estimation of the value of this fraction. Question number 6, we have the subtraction of matrices. So we first bring the 3 inside. So 3 times 0 is 0, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times minus 3 is minus 9, 3 times 1 is 3, minus. Bring the 2 inside, it will become 2 times 1 will be 2, 2 times 5 is 10, 2 times minus 4 is minus 8, 2 times minus 1 will be minus 2. So now we have to do subtraction. So 0 minus 2 will be minus 2. 9 minus 10 will be minus 1. Minus 9 minus 8 will be minus 1. 3 minus 2 will be 5. And this is your answer for question number 6. Question number 7, part A. In the diagram, 7 small triangles are shaded. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Shade 2 more triangles, so the diagram will have a rotational symmetry of order 3. Order 3 means 360 divided by 3, which is 120 degrees. So the rotational angle will be 120 from the center. So let's observe where we must draw these 2 triangles. So let's look at this one here. As you can see, we have 2 triangles on one at the bottom, one at the top, and one to the right. So let's rotate this by 120. What do we have? Same thing. So we have 2 triangles, one top, bottom, and we're missing one to the right. So we have to shade this one. And let's do one more turn to about for 120. And then here as well, you will observe that we have 2 in this direction. So as you can see, we have 2 triangles. So we have one to the right already. We are missing the one to the top. So what we did was we just have to match the same shape that we had on this side, which is top, bottom, and right. So one top, bottom, right. So if we rotate this side, we have top, bottom, right. If we rotate this side, we have the same, which is top, bottom, right. So that's what we had to do to find this with a rotational symmetry of order 3. Okay. So now question part B. In the diagram, 10 small hexagons are shaded. Okay. Shade 1 more small hexagon so that the diagram will have exactly 1 line of symmetry. So where can I shade so it can have 1 line of symmetry? So I can see that it has 2 lines of symmetry. So one is this and one is this line. Okay, so if I shade, I can see that it's pretty obvious. You have to shade this hexagon to make it have 1 line of symmetry. So this line will be the line of symmetry, so you can fold it that way. it matches exactly on both sides. So this one will be the one you need to shade to make it have one line of symmetry. Question number 8, we have A, B, C, D, and E are 5 numbers such that we have these 3 inequalities. The first one is D is less than A, which is less than C. Okay, that's okay. And then we look at this one. We have A, which is less than E, which is less than C. So what does that mean? We can add this to the first one. So you will observe that D is less than A, and A is less than E. So less than E, which is less than C. Okay, so we have this now. Now we'll look at this one. This is over. We'll look at this one. So we are given that A is less than B, which is less than E. So that's good. We add it back to the equation. So D is less than A, which is less than B, which is less than E, which is less than C. So now we can see the order of each letter. So which one is the smallest? D is the smallest. Then we have A, B, E, C. And that is for question number 8. Question number 9. At an athletics event, we have Dave and Ed threw a javelin. Dave threw 60 meters, correct to the 10 meters. Ed threw 61 meters, correct to the nearest meter. Okay, so we have to write down the lower bound for the distance thrown by Dave, the first one. So 60 meters, what is the lower and upper bound? So this one is correct to the 10 meters. So we have to do 10 divided by 2, we have 5. Okay, so now we have to do 60 minus 5 will be 55 for the lower bound. 60 plus 5, 65 for the upper bound. So write down the lower bound for the distance thrown will be 55 meters. So that is the answer for part A. Part B, calculate the greatest difference possible between the distance thrown by Dave and the distance thrown by Ed. So let's find the lower and upper bound for Ed. So Ed threw 61 meters, correct to the nearest meter. So it's 1 divided by 2, which is 0.5. So 61 minus 0.5, it will be 60.5. 61 plus 0.5 will be 61.5. Okay, so we have to calculate the greatest possible difference. So the greatest difference is obtained by taking the upper bound minus the lower bound. Okay, so upper bound of Ed will be 61.5 minus the lower bound of Dave will be 55. So 61.5 minus 55 equal to, so 5 minus 0 is 5. And then this will be 5, 10. 10 minus 5 is 5, plus 1 is 6. And 5 minus 5 is 0. So your answer will be 6.5 meters for the greatest possible difference. Question number 10. Express the number 0. We have 5 zeros, 4, 5 in standard form. So we have to count how many decimal places we move to get here. So we have to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So your answer will be 4.5 times 10 power of minus 6. Okay. Part B, we have P equal to this number, Q equal to this number. Expressing each answer in standard form, find P times Q. So P is 6 times 10 power 8 times Q, which is 4 times 10 power 7. So we first multiply the numbers. So 6 times 4 will be 24 times 10 power 8 times 10 power 7. So if you have times, we have 8 plus 7 because it is multiplied. So we have 24 times 10 power of 15. So now your answer needs to be in standard form. So we have 2.4 times 10 power of 16. Okay, so now part 2, we have P minus Q. P is 6 times 10 power 8 minus Q, which is 4 times 10 power 7. So now, since the powers are different, we cannot minus directly. So we have to make the powers equal. So we have 8 here, we send 1 0 here. The 10 here will be 60 times 10 power 7 minus 4 times 10 power 7. So now the powers are the same, we can just do minus. So 60 minus 4 is 56 times 10 power 7. So in its standard form, it will be 5.6 times 10 power 8. And that is your answer for part 2. Question number 11, these are indices. So anything power 0 is 1. So your answer for part A will be 1. So now we have a negative power. So how do we convert this to a positive power? So we have to flip the inside. The bottom becomes top, top becomes bottom. So it becomes 2 over 3 power 1. So your answer is 2 over 3. Okay, so now part C, simplify 9x cubed bracket power of 2. So we have to bring the 2 inside. We have 9 power 2 x 3 times 2. It becomes 9 power 2 which is x. 3 times 2 is 6. So 9 power 2 will be 9 times 9, which is 81 x 6. So your answer will be 81 x 6. Question number 12, part A. Express 198 as a product of its prime factors. So we have to find all the prime factors of 198. So we have to do long division. So it is an even number. We can divide by 2. We will have 9, 1, 9. Divide by 3. We will have 3, 3. Divide by 3 again. We will have 11. And yeah, that's it. So 198 equal to 2 times 3 times 3 times 11, which is equal to 198. So that's your answer for part A. So now moving on to part B. We have m as this number and n as this number. Find the largest number that divides exactly into m and n. So it means find the HCF of those two numbers, the highest common factor. So m is 2 times 2 times 3 times 5 times 5. And we have n equal to 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 7. So let's find the pairs. So this is 1 pair, 2 pair, 3 pair, and that's it. So the highest common factor is 2 times 2 times 3, which is 2 times 2 times 3, which is 12. So the answer for this part is 12. So now part 2, find the smallest value of k such that m times k is a cube number. So what is m? M equals to 2 power 2 times 3 times 5 power 2. So now we have to multiply this number by some number k, so it becomes a cube number. So for me to know a number is cube, the power must be divisible by 3. So here, what can we do to make the power become divisible by 3? So I can see I will need to multiply 2 multiply by 3 square and 5. Why? So if I multiply this number by this, I will have 2 power 3 times 3 power 3 times 5 power 3. So that's the only way I can make this become a cube, right? So in this case, you see every power is divisible by 3. So thus, it will be a cube number. So in that case, this value here will be the value of k, by which we need to multiply m to get a cube number. Okay, so the value of k is what? So it is 2 times 5 is 10, 10 times 9 is 90. So value of k is 90 for part 2. Question number 13. These two quadrilaterals are congruent. Congruent means that they are the same, okay? The length are in millimeters. Find the value of x, y, and z. So what is the value of x? So as we observe that if they are the same, the value of x will be 45. And then we observe that the angle across the right angle is 78, which means this is 78 as well. Okay, so find the value of y. Where's y? Y is this side. This side is corresponding to this side, which is 20. So mm. And the last one will be z. Find the value of z. So this is a quadrilateral, which means that the sum of all the angles will be 360. So 360 minus 90, this is 90, minus 77 and minus 78 will give me value of z. So let's do the math. So let's take down 2 here. We have 4 left, 20. So 20 minus 15 will be 5. Now we have to do 34. So we have 9 plus 7 is 16. 16 plus 7 is 23. So 34 minus 23 will be 11. So angle Z will be 115 degrees for this part. Question number 14. Mira went on a journey from P, so we have a point P, to Q and R. Okay, so that's the first information that we have. The first part of the journey from P to Q took 4 hours to travel 80. So this one is 80 km. It took her 4 hours to travel that distance. So part A, find the average speed for P to Q. So average speed is equal to distance traveled, which is 80, divided by time taken, which is 4 hours, is 20. Okay, so this one will be 20 kilometers per hour for the average speed taken. Part B, in the second part of the journey from Q to R, she traveled 45. So 45 from Q to R. So in total is 80 plus 45, it will be 125 km P to R. Okay. Her average speed for both parts of the journey from P to Q to R was 25 kilometers per hour. So we are given that her average speed for the 125 km was 25 kilometers. So average speed was 25 kilometers per hour. So how do we calculate average speed? We take total distance traveled, which is 125, divided by time taken, which we don't know, equal to 25, right? So that's how we calculate the speed. So find the time taken for the second part of the journey. Okay, so we have to find the time taken to travel from Q to R. Okay, so let's find the total time taken. So that will be cross multiply. We will have 25 t equal to 125. So t equal to 5. So total time taken is 5 hours. So which means because she traveled from P to Q in 4 hours, so P to Q, she took 4 hours, which means Q to R, she took 1 hour. So your answer for part B will be 1 hour. Question number 15. On the Venn diagram, shade the set B intersection A union C dash. So let's first find where is A union C. So A union C will be these two sets, dash will be outside of these two sets. Intersection B, it will be only this part. So that is the region we need to shade for that notation, okay? So now moving on to part B. So we have the universal set numbers from 10 to 19. So W is a multiple of 2. So let's list all the elements in W. So multiples of 2, which means the numbers are even, will be in this set. So 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So this will be the set of W. And for this one, for the set of H, it will be multiple of 3. So any number that is divisible by 3, it will be in this set. So 10, no. 11, no. 12, yes. 13, no. 14, no. 15, yes. 16, no. 17, no. 18, yes. And that's it. So numbers in H will be only 12, 15, 18. These numbers are divisible by 3. So find part A, the number which is in W union H. So let's find the set W union H will be. So we have 10, 12, 14, 15, 16, and 18. So that is a set. Find the number. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So your answer will be 6. So now part B. list the members of W intersection of H. So we know W equal to 10, 12, 14, 16, and 18. That is a set W. Now find the set H dash. So we know that H is this set. So everything not in H will be in this set, which means we have 10, 11, 13, we have 14, 16, 17, and 19. So intersection means it needs to be in both of those sets. So let's find the pairs. So 10 is a pair here, 14, 16, and that's it. So the members in this set will be 10, 14, and 16 will be the members of this set. And that is for question 15. Question number 16, part A, factorize 4p squared minus 9q squared. So we can see that 4 is 2 squared, p is 2, p squared minus 9 is 3 squared, q squared. So this becomes 2p squared minus 3q squared, which is 2p plus 3q, 2p minus 3q. So we use the formula here, which is a squared minus b squared equal to a plus b bracket a minus b. So same thing happened here. So this was a squared, b squared, so a plus b, a minus b. Okay. So now part 2, 2n squared plus 5n equal to minus 3. So factorize this one, we will have, this is 2n, n, and what are the factors of 3? 3 can only be 1 times 3. So we put 3 here and 1. So for it to become plus 5, it has to be plus. So 2 times 3 will be plus 6 minus 1 for it to be plus 5. So that is the answer for the factorization of part 2. So now part B, express this fraction as a single fraction. So the first thing we need to do is to find the LCM for the denominator. Okay, so we do 4x times 3y, it will be 12xy, and then we cross multiply, we have 3 times 3y will be 9y plus 4x plus 8 will be 8x. And that is your answer for the single fraction. Question number 17. So in the diagram, A, B, C, D, and E lie on the circle center O. So we have point A, B, C, D, E, and center O. Okay. So we have AC is a diameter. So AC is a diameter, which means this angle is 90 degrees. Okay. The tangent to the point to the circle at C meets the line AB. So the tangent to the point C meets the line AB produced at T. Okay, I see. So these angles, okay. Fair enough. So now we have, so if this is the tangent and this is the diameter, so this angle here will be 90 degrees. So the first question is, find the angle X. So we know that X plus 62, so this angle is 90, which means X is 90 minus 62. So 8, 10, 10 minus 2 is 8, 8 minus 6 is 2. So answer for part X will be 28 degrees. So now find the value of Y. So we observe that Y, it is on the arc AC. So arc AC, we have Y, arc AC. Also, we have on the same arc AB, on the same arc AB, we have the angle 62. So angle that are extended from the same arc, they are the same, which means Y equal to 62. Okay, and the last part is find the angle Z, which is this angle. So here we have to observe, as you can see, we have this shape. So that is B, that is E, D, C, and that joins the point C. So B, END. So find the angle Z. So we know this angle here is 62 plus 70. That will be 2 and 1, 3. So 132. So given that every point touches the circumference and this is a quadrilateral, it means that these two angles, they add up to 180. So we know that Z plus 132 is equal to 180. Okay, so which means Z is equal to 180 minus 132. That will be 7, 10. 10 minus 2 is 8, and 7 minus 3 will be 4. So the answer for Z will be 48 degrees for part C. And that was question 17. Question number 18. The sides of the triangle A, B, C are formed by straight lines with equations. So we have the first line, which is x equal to 3, y equal to 6, y equal to x plus half. So let's first draw the lines or label the lines on the graph. So where is the line x equal to 3? So we know that x will be a vertical line. So this is the line x equal to 3. And where's the line y equal to 6? It will be horizontal, so it needs to be this line. Okay, so this is y equal to 6. And where's the line y equal to x plus half? It will be this line. Okay, so now we have labeled all the lines that we have on the graph. We can move on to part 1. So the region inside the triangle is defined by 3 inequalities. Okay, so write down these 3 inequalities. So we observe that we have a region A, B, C is a triangles, and the region inside is defined by these 3 lines. So let's take one by one. So let's take a line y equal to 6. So we see the region is below the line y equal to 6. So your first inequality will be y is less than 6 because it is below the line. And the next one, let's take the line x equal to 3. We see it is on the right of the line on the positive side, which means x needs to be bigger than 3. And the last one is this line. It is above this line, so it will be y is bigger than x plus half. Okay. So now we have to use this for part B. So the point for k, where k is an integer, so very important here, lies inside the triangle. Find the value of k. So we know that we have a point 4k, where 4 is the x coordinate and k is a y coordinate. It lies inside the triangle, which means it is defined by this inequality. Find the value of k. So here we have y, so greater than x plus half. We know the value of x is 4. We place that back in, so we have y equal to, which is bigger than 4x is 4 plus half. So y is bigger than 4 and a half. So that's the first part. But we also have y is less than 6. So which means if we have a line here, this is 4.5. The value of y is between 4.5 and 6, because as you can see here, we have y defined by 2 inequalities. It must be less than 6 and more than 4.5. So it can be between this line. So what integer is between this line? We have number 5. And that's the only number we have. So thus, the value of k will be 5. And that's it for number 18. Question number 19. All the angles of a polygon are either 155 or 140. So we have a polygon, and the size of the angles is either 155 or 140. Okay, there are twice as many angles of 155 as 140. So we can use this information to derive an equation. So let x be the number of 140 degrees angles. So x. So from this we get, since there's twice as many of 155, it means that 2x will be the number of the 150 angle. So in total, how many angles we have? So total number of angles. Number of angles is x plus 2x, which will be 3x. So now we must know that number of angles is equal to number of sides. So thus, number of sides is also equal to 3x. So now we have to use a formula. The formula is the sum of all interior angles is equal to the sum of all sides, which is 3x, minus 2 times 180. Okay, so that will be the sum of all interior angles. So we also know that the sum of all interior angles is the sum of 140 angles and the sum of 150 angles. So let's find that. So what is the sum of those two angles? So we have 140 times x for the number of angles plus 155, it is 155. So 155 times 2x for the number of angles of that. So the total number of angles, not number, total size of angles will be what? Will be 140x plus 310x. Okay, so that will give me 450x. So the sum of all interior angles is equal to this, but it is also equal to this. So we equate those two equations. So we have 3x minus 2 times 180 equal to 450x. So now we have to simplify. 0, 0, divide by 9, we have 5 and 2. Now we expand the brackets. We have 3 times 9 is 27x minus 18 equal to 5x. Alright, this is 2, my bad. Made a mistake here, so divide by 9, this is 2. So that will be 6x minus 4 equal to 5x. So send x over here, we have 6x minus 5x equal to 4. So x equal to 4. So what is x? X is the number of 140 degrees angles. So we have to find the number of sides of the polygon. So number of sides is also equal to, as you can see here, number of angles is equal to number of sides equal to 3x. So we have the value of x equal to 4. So number of sides will be 3 times x, which is 12. So your answer in part 19 will be 12. Question number 20. The masses of 400 goats were measured. The results are shown in this cumulative frequency graph. Okay, so now part A, use the graph to find the median. So the median is the middle value, which is, we have to do half times 400, which is the number of goats, equal to 200 element. So let's go to 200 on this side. Draw a horizontal line which cuts the curve. Okay, so that is the line at 200, and then it cuts the curve at this point, which means the value of the mass will be here, which is this value. So let's find this value. So this whole distance is, so 10 squares equal to 2 kilogram. 1 square equal to 0.2. So here will be so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 squares. So times 7, that will be 1.4 kilogram. So this reading will be 64 plus 1.4, that will be 65.4. So your answer for part 1 will be 65.4 kilogram. Okay, so now moving on to the 30th percentile, which means we have to do 30 over 100 times 400, because we need to find the 30th percent. Here we go. that will be 120. 30 times 4 will be 20, 120, 120th element. So same steps, we have to go on this axis and find 120. So this is 100, so every square is 10, so that will be 110 and 120 will be here. So let's draw a line to cut the curve and find the value for the mass. The value will be 64. So part 2, the 30th percentile is 64 kilogram. Now part 3, find the number of goats whose mass is more than 66. The mass more than 66 will be, so we have to first find the value which is at 66. Okay, so 66 kilogram. Let's draw a vertical line to cut the curve, and then horizontal line to find the number of goats which has weight at 66. So that is a goat, and everything up, everything from this point to this has mass more than 66 kilograms. So let's find this value first. So that will be 210, 220, 240, 230, 240. So 240 will be 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. This will be 240. So the number of goats who has mass more than 66 will be 400 minus 240. So 400 minus 240, that will be 0, 3, 10. 10 minus 4 will be 6. 3 minus 2 will be 1, so 160 goats. So now moving on to part B, it was noticed later that the scales used were faulty, and the true readings should all be 2 kilograms more. On the grid, draw the true curve. So we have to, so where's the mass axis? So this is the max axis. Everything should be more by 2 kilograms. So we need to shift the curve by 2 kilograms to the right. So this point will become this point. This point needs to become this point. So here, let's find the next point will be this. Will need to be on this point, and this point needs to be this point, and this point needs to be this point, and the last one will be here. So we have to join all the points. So we have, let's show a curve which is pretty smooth. So it should be about this curve. Well, make sure that you draw it more smoothly, but you should get the same curve but just moved by 2 kilograms to the right. Question number 21. The diagram shows the position of 3 ships A, B, and C. So A, B, C are the positions of 3 ships. It is drawn to a scale of 1 centimeter equal to 20 kilometers. So we have to use the scale afterwards. So we know that 1 centimeter is equal to 20 kilometers. That's the scale of the diagram. So part A, find by measurement the bearing of C from A. So the bearing of C from A will be this angle. So we have to use our protractor to find the size of the angle. So we place it with the north and we just have to measure the angle. So this will be 90, 95, 97. So I get 97 degrees. So your answer could be 96 or 98, and that's okay. So that was part A. So now part B. On the diagram, construct the locus of points inside the triangle ABC that are, first one, equidistant from B and C. So point B is here, point C here. It means that we have to draw the perpendicular bisector of the line BC. So we have to use our compass. So we go to point C. We have to draw an arc on this side. So let's decrease that a little bit. So on this side and on this side, 2 arcs. And go to point B, do the same thing to intersect the first arc. Okay, as you can see, we have 2 points. We have a point here and a point here. So we have to join them, but make sure that you have to draw this only inside the triangle ABC. So you will be starting here and then ending to this point. So that is answer part 1. Now part 2, we have to find the locus of points which are equidistant from AB and BC. So we find the common point is B, which means we have to draw the angle bisector of angle B. Okay, so how do we do this? We have to use our compass again. So we have to go to the point B. We have to draw an arc, cutting the line BA, so BA, and the line BC. Now using the same distance that we had used on this, go to the point of intersection and draw an arc inside of the triangle and go to this point, do the same thing, an arc inside of the triangle to intersect the first arc. So now we have a point here, point of intersection, and the point B. So we have to join the two to form the angle bisector of angle B. So we have to draw inside of the triangle. So that will be your answer, part 2. So now part C, a shape D is equidistant from B and C, which means it is on this line, okay? And it is also equidistant from AB and BC, which means it is also on this line. So we have to find where these two lines meet, and this is the point D. So label the position of D on the diagram and find the actual distance of D from A. So now let's measure the distance from D and A. So use your ruler to find the distance. So the distance that I have from D and A, I get 3.6. So the answer for me is 3.6. So for me it is AD will be 3.6 centimeter on the ruler. We have to use the scale, which is 1 centimeter equal to 20 kilometers. So 3.6 centimeter equal to 20 times 3.6, which becomes 0 cut will be here. So 2 times 36 is 72. So the answer for part C will be 72 kilometers. And that is question number 21 for locus. Question number 22. P is a point 1 minus 3 and Q is a point 7, 2. Part A. Find the coordinates of the midpoint of PQ. So we have to use a formula. So midpoint is equal to. So we have to first plus those two. So this and this. So 1 plus 7 divided by 2. And then minus 3 plus 2 divided by 2. So simplify, we have 8 divided by 2 is 4. And then minus 3 plus 2 will be 1 over 2. And that is your answer for part 1, which is 4 half. So now part B, find the gradient of the line PQ. So to find the gradient, we need to use a formula as well. So the point P is 1 minus 3, Q is 7, 2. That is x1, that is y1. Call it x2, y2. So the gradient is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So y2 will be 2 minus 1 divided by 7 minus 3. Minus minus become plus, so 2 minus 1 is 1 over 10. So the gradient of the line PQ is 0.1. Okay, so now question number part C. The line L has equation. So 2x minus 5y equal to k passes through the point Q. So Q is what point? Is 7, 2. This is x coordinate and this is a y coordinate. Find the value of k. So k, we have to replace this in the equation. So 2 times x will be 7 here. Minus 5, y is 2 equal to k. So k equal to 2 times 7 is 14 minus 10 is 4. Value of k is 4. Now, the line, we have x plus ay equal to 3. So first thing first, we rearrange the line in the form of y equal to mx plus c. So make y the subject of formula. So we have ay equal to minus x plus 3. So y equal to minus 1 over a x plus 3 over a. That is the equation of the line in terms of y equal to mx plus c. So we say the line is parallel to L. So this information means that this line and L has the same gradient. So what is the gradient of the line L? So as we can observe, the line L has equation 2x minus 5y equal to k. So the gradient of this line, we have to find, we have to make y the subject of formula as well. So let's do that. So we have 2x minus 5y equal to k, which is 4. So 5y equal to 2x minus 4. So y equal to 2 divided by 5, x minus 4 over 5 as well. So the gradient of the line L is 2 over 5. So we say that the line this and this are parallel, which means the line has the same gradient as L, and thus the value 1 over a is the same as 2 over 5, because as you can see, mx plus c, so m is the same value as this, which is the gradient. So gradient of the line L will be 2 over 5, which equals to the gradient of the line, as you can see, mx plus c, where m is a gradient. So we have to equate this to find the value of a. So cross multiply, we have minus 5 equal to 2a. So a will be minus 5 divided by 2, which is minus 2.5. Value of a will be minus 2.5. Question number 23. A fair four-sided, so a fair is very important here, is numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4. Anil spins it once. He gets his score by doubling the number obtained on the spinner. Complete the table to show the probabilities of his scores. So 2, 4, 6, 8 is obtained by doubling the number he obtained, which means he was actually obtaining 1, 2, 3, and 4. So he doubles them to get his score. So what are his chances of obtaining each of the scores? So since it is a fair spinner, so it can get everything equally, which is 1 over 4, 1 over 4, 1 over 4, and 1 over 4. So this is because it is a fair spinner and everything can land equally on each side. Okay, so now part 2, we have Billy spins it twice. She gets the score by adding the numbers obtained. Complete the diagram. So we just have to add those two. So this will be 4 plus 1, 5. 4 plus 2 is 6. 4 plus 3 is 7. And 4 plus 4 is 8. And that's it for part 1. So now complete the table below to show the chances for Billy success. So scores. So we have score more than 2 is 15 over 16. For more than 4, what is more than 4? So more than 4, it will be 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, so let's count. So more than 4 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We get 10 over 16. Okay, so more than 6 will be what? 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3, so 3 over 16. More than 8, we don't have anything more than 8, so it will be 0. Okay, so this is a table for Billy's success scores. So part C, find the chances that Billy scores more than Anil. So for this one, we have to take case by case. So if Anil scores a 2, so let's do case 1. So case 1 is Anil scores a 2, so Anil scores a 2. And we have Billy scores more than 2. So we have to find this chance. So that's the first case. It will be what? Anil scores a 2 will be 1 over 4. Okay, 1 over 4. And will be times Billy scores more than 2 will be 15 over 16. Okay, which will give you what? Let's do the math. So that will be 15 over 64. That's the first part. So case number 2, Anil scores a 4. So and Billy needs to score more than 4 to have. So this one, Billy has to score more than 4, which is, so that will be 1 over 4 times 10 over 16 will be 10 over 64. And third, Anil needs to score a 6, and Billy's score is more than 6, which is 1 over 4 times 3 over 16 will be 3 over 64. Right. So, and the part 4 is, if Anil scores a 8, Billy scores more than 8, so we have to have 1 over 4 times 0 over 16. That will be 0. So these are the cases where Billy scores more than Anil. So we have to find the chances of each case. So first case is Anil scores a 2, it is 1 over 4, and times Billy scores more than 2 will be 15 over 6. So same thing now. So now we have to add every cases together. So 15 over 64, let's do the math here. Okay. So we have to add 15 over 64 plus 10 over 64 plus 3 over 64. That will give me 15 plus 10 is 25 plus 3 is 28. So 28 over 64. Now we simplify, divide by 4. We have 16. We have 7. So your answer will be 7 over 16 for part C. 7 over 16. Question number 24. The first term of a sequence is 13. The following terms are found by alternatively adding 4 and 6 to the previous term. The first 6 terms are 13, 17, 23, 27, 33, and 37. So as you can see, here we are adding 4, here we are adding 6, here we are adding 4, adding 6. Right. So as you can see, the next one will be obviously we have to add 6. It will be 43, and we add 4, it will be 47. So question part 1, we have write down the next 2 terms of the sequence. It will be, this one is easy, 43 and 47. Okay. And now part B, write down the value of the term that is closest to 999. So from what we observe on the sequence, we see that the numbers always end with 3 and 7, 3, 7, 3, 7, 3, 7, which means that we know at some point in the sequence we will have numbers ending with 3 and 7 again, so it will be 9, 9, 3, 9, 9, 7, 1, 0, 0, 3, 1, 0, 0, 7. So which of the value of the term is closest to 999? So as we observe, this is the number closest. So your answer will be 997. So now moving on to part C, write down the difference between the values of the 91st and 93rd term. So we observe that from the sequence, the first and the third term have a difference of 10. The third and the fifth term have a difference of 10. The fifth and the seventh term has a difference of 10 as well. So which means that the difference between every odd term, consecutive odd terms, is the same. So it will be 10 as well. Okay. So now moving on to part D, find the 80th term. So we have to actually observe on the sequence. So let's say we begin with term number 2. Number 2 will be what? Because this is even, I begin with term number 2, which is even as well. Okay, so 2 will be 17. Term number 4 will be 27. Term number 6 will be 37. Term number 8 will be 47, and so on, right? As you can see from the above sequence. So now let's change the term. This is the actual term. So now let's create a new term from them. So let's say, for example, if this we divide by 2, we have, this is the first term, second term, third term, and fourth term. It becomes like a normal sequence, right? This is the assumed term. We are assuming that it is term number 1, term number 2, term number 3, number 4. As you can see, we have 1 here, we have 1 here, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. What it means, if there was 5 here, the term will be 5, 7. If there was 6, it will be 6, 7. Going on until 10, it will be 10, 7. On until 20, it will be 27. And going on until, if you go until 40, it will be 407. Right. So now the question will be, we have to find the 80th term. The 80th term will be the actual term, so we have to find 80. It will be about here. And for the assumed term, we have to divide by 2. So we're actually looking for the 40th term, which equals to 47. So your answer for part B will be 407. Okay. So now part E, the nth term is 203. Find the nth term. So we know that if n is 203, this means n plus 1th term is equal to 207, right? So let's first find the term n plus 1 so we can find the value of n. So 207 follows this sequence up, as you can see. So for 207, it needs to be at the term 20 on the assumed term. So if we assume term will be 20, the actual term will be 20 times 2 will be 40, which means that the 40th term is 207. So we are looking for the term 203, which means we need to do, if n plus 1 is 40, the nth term will be 40 minus 1, which is 39. So your answer for part E will be 39. So this one is a question where you actually have to observe and derive the answers based on the terms you can use. Because if you use this as the first term, second term, it is kind of hard because it is not consistent going on. But this one, as you can see, we just had to divide by 2 everywhere to get the assumed term. And from this, if you want to find the actual term, you times 2 to find the actual term. And that's it for question number 24. Question number 25. The diagram shows the speed time graph of car A. Okay, so part A, find the acceleration of the car when t is equal to 7. So if we have a speed time graph, the acceleration is equal to the gradient. Gradient is equal to the height, which is 15, divided by the base, which is 10. So answer will be 1.5. Okay, so now moving on to part B. Find an expression in terms of k for the distance moved by car A between time equal to O and time equal to k. So if we have a distance, we have a speed time graph. The distance and this distance travel will be area under the graph. So let's draw a line here. So we have to find area of this shape. It will be area of a trapezium. So what is the length of this side? That will be k, right? And the length on this side will be what? Will be k minus 10. And what is the height? The height is 15. So how do you find the area of a trapezium? You have to do half times the sum of both sides, which is k plus k minus 10, times the height in between, which is 15. So now we have to simplify. Half 2k minus 10 times 15, which is 15 over 2k minus 10. So let's simplify that. We will have what? So 2, so 15k minus 5 times 15 will be 75. that is your answer for part B. So which is area of trapezium. Okay, so your answer will be 15k minus 75 meters. So now part C, car B travels at a constant speed of 12 meters per second in the same direction as car A. On the diagram, sketch the speed time graph of car B. So car B travels at a constant speed at 12 meters per second. So it will be about here. So we have to sketch. It doesn't need to be an exact diagram, so it will be on this line. That is for car B, right? So now moving on to question part 2. At t equal to 0, car B passes car A. That's okay. At t equal to k, car A overtakes car B, which means that the distance traveled by car A equal to the distance traveled by car B at time equal to k. So at time equal to k, what is the distance traveled by car B? It will be, the height is 12 and the distance, the time will be k. So the area in the graph for car B will be 12 times k. So let's write this down. So when car A overtakes car B, what does this mean? It means that the distance traveled by A is equal to distance traveled by B. So in the speed time graph, distance traveled is area under graph. So we know that it says at time t equal to k, so at time equal to k. So what is the distance traveled by A at time equal to k? We have found this on part B. So it will be 15k minus 75 equal to distance traveled by B at time k is what? So as we can see, this is B, and the distance traveled by B is area on the graph, which is 12 times k. So 12k. So now we have to solve and find the value of k. We send 12 here, we send this number here. We have 15k minus 12 is 3k equal to 75. So k is 75 divided by 3, which is 25. Value of k is 25. A, B, C are triangles, are three triangles. So T1, T2 are three transformations such that T1 transform A into B, T2 transform A into C, and T3 transform C into B. Okay, so now moving on to part 1, we have triangle A is these points, triangle, and the matrix T1 is this. Find this one. So we have to do row by column. So that's basically T1 times A. This is the point A. We will get B. So let's find the answer for B. So row by column, 2 times 1 plus 2 times 0, 2. 2 times 0 plus 2 times 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 2 times 3 is 8. So 0 times 1 is 0, 1 times 0 is 0. 0 times 0 is 0, 1 times 1 is 1. 0 times 1 is 0, plus 1 times 3 is 3. So this is the vertices of B, and this is the answer for part A. Okay, so now moving on to part B, we have the matrix T2 is 2, 0, 0, 1. Find the inverse. Inverse, we need to first find the determinant, which is 2 times 1 minus 0, which is 2. So now what is the adjacent matrix? It will be 1, 2, 0, 0. So inverse will be 1 over 2, which is 1 over determinant, times the adjacent matrix will be 1, 0, 0, 2. And that is your answer for part B. So now moving on to part 2. So the matrix T3 is M, find M. So we know that from the first information, T3 transforms C into B. So T3 transforms C into B, right? So we also know that T2 transform A into C. So let's find the coordinates of C, okay? So we have T2 transform A into C. So what is the coordinates of C? Let's find that. So T2 is this matrix given to us. So 2, 0, 0, 1 times A is given to us as well. It is on top, which is this one. So A will be 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 3. So now we do multiply. So 2 times 1 is 2, plus 0 times 0 is 0. So 2. So 2 times 0, 0, 0, 0. So that will be 0. 2 times 1 plus 0 will be 2. 0 times 1 is 0, plus 0 is 0. 0 times 0 is 0, plus 1. 0 times 0 is 0, plus 3. So now that will be the points of C. So now we have to use this here. So we have the matrix M times C, which is 2, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, equal to B. So we have B here. B is the matrix 2, 0, 2, 1, 8, 3. Okay, so we know that the matrix M is a 2 by 2 matrix as the rest. And the first thing we observe is that the y coordinates has remained the same, which means M will be in the form of 0, 1 times 2, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3 equal to the B coordinates. So because the y is the same, so the matrix will be having this form. So now we have to find the first two letters. So we have to do this by observation. So it is always row by column. So if we take some number here times 2 plus some number times 0, we have to get 2. So what can times 2 to get 2? So there's only one way. The number times 2 get 2 is 1 times 2, we have 2. And this one doesn't matter because if it's like take something here times 0, it will be 0 as well. So that's okay. So now moving on to part this one. So 1 times 0 is 0. And then we have to take this number times plus, so it's row by column. So row is 1 times this plus this times this, right? So 1 times 0 is 0 plus some number times 1 must equal to 2. So what number times 1 equal to 2? There's only one choice. It can be 2 times 1 equal to 2, right? So now we use these two numbers to check if it is right. So 1 times 2 is 2 plus 2 times 3 is 6. So 2 plus 6 will be 8, which means this is good. So your matrix M will be equal to 1, 0, 2, 1.